What is up, guys? Welcome to the Pawd Slama Jama YouTube channel. On this episode, we have a very special guest, Mikal Harrison-Pilot out of Temple High School. He is a class of 2023 Houston Cougars football signee, and you're not going to want to miss this conversation with Houston's latest signee heading into the upcoming season. Once again, it's Pawd Slama Jama. Real quickly, before we get into the interview, I'd like to remind everybody to hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 1,000 subs that will really help us out. And without further ado, let's get into that conversation.
Yeah, high standards, high goals, and we know what it takes to get there.
I want to be unguardable, if I'm honest.
Coaches coach, players play. And that's a great place to be in your life, where you can care less what other people think.
So like I said at the top of the open, Mikal Harrison-Pilot, first and foremost, thank you for your time. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Let's get right into it. So like I mentioned, you're going to be part of the 2023 signing class for the Houston Cougars football team. Kind of take us a little bit through that whole recruiting process and kind of how really you chose Houston above all the other schools that were recruiting you.
It was really about the relationships I built. I mean, my dad played there. So that's already a huge bonus. He met my stepmother there. She was a cheerleader. So all that kind of played into it. My biological mother lives in Houston. So everything, and they were my third offer. And ever since then, they've been recruiting me since my sophomore year to now, just coming here to see me every chance they could, and just kept building that relationship and never stopped talking to me and kept, pushing and pushing, trying to get me. And they landed me. So I'm real happy about it and just can't wait to get down there.
Outside of those close,
go ahead.
outside of those close connections, what about the offense and the football team attracted you, and how can you see yourself excelling in the offense?
Just watching the offense, they throw the ball a lot. They love airing it out, getting the ball in the playmakers' hands. I can see myself being in that offense. Daniel Holgerson's been there for a good minute now, so he's I'm real familiar with him. Just talking to him about seeing what he did at West Virginia, just looking at clips back then, and just him putting it into the offense now. I can see myself being a playmaker, getting the ball in my hands, and just creating havoc on the field. So,
Real quick, I wanted to go back to what you mentioned at the top. When did your dad go to University of Houston?
I want to say either 04 to 08, 04 to 09. 04 to 08, the one of that time period.
Do you
What position did he play?
Sir?
What position did he play?
Linebacker.
Okay.
Man, what was his name?
Chris Pilot.
Chris Pilot. And do you still remember? I don't know if you'd have backtracking. Do you have any memories of being around the university when you were little?
Yes and no. It's it's hard to remember back then because I was born in 2004. So his freshman year, I was kind of born. So I don't kind of remember some of it. I mean, I just know there's a staff that's there. He's known me since I was a little itty bitty thing. So he knew about me. So some people that's still been there since he was there know about me. So I know I was around there a bit. So kind of felt like home when I, made that decision. Just felt like home again. So.
Gotcha. And kind of building off of that, I know you touched on a little bit of how you see yourself with the offense, but could you describe a little bit what your relationships are like with Coach Meekins and Coach Shorts? I'm sure they were the kind of probably the main ones that were recruiting you throughout the whole process. Yeah,
so Coach Meekins, my head coach at high school now, they coached together back when at Westfield. And so they, however, had a relationship. And then, I kind of brought up to the conversation. My freshman year, I was on varsity playing safety. And then he came and watched me, I'm trying to think. My sophomore year, and they watching film and just creating that relationship right there. And then Coach Shorts, kind of the same thing. He's he's a young coach. I think he's in his late 20s, I want to say. But he kind of I look at him like a bigger brother that I don't have. I'm not with some of my siblings. So just seeing that, he kind of just taking me in already as a little brother, just trying to show me the way, getting to that next level.
Dan, you got anything before I follow up?
Yeah. And then, with them making that relationship, at one point in time, did you kind of realize that Houston becoming a real option and a real place that I really want to go and kind of make your own legacy?
I think when I did my OVs, because my top two was TCU and Houston, and then doing those back-to-back OVs, I had TCU first and Houston. I kind of just, on the official visit, just thinking about it, just thinking like in the future, is this what I want to be? Do I feel real comfortable here? I felt, and all that, they check the box for everything. They got a great business program that I got into, so everything kind of lines up. All the boxes are checked that I wanted to need, that like I wanted to have, in my college decision.
Any part of it, the Big 12 play part of it?
It did. Just being the Big 12 playing, better people trying to get, that's where the dogs are at. It's SEC and Big 12, I think the top two right there. So just being in that right there just kind of shows it all that, I think we're ready for it. So just can't wait to see what it looks like next year. Well, next season, this coming up season.
Sticking with the coaches, I'm curious if you could talk a little bit about your relationship with Coach Holgerson and what kind of he's been like for you throughout this whole process.
I mean, he always knew he was like if I didn't end up there, that even if I like Chad transferred, that would be my first option, just because he knows that at some point I was gonna come back to Houston. At some point, either I went there or I didn't go there. But just kind of building that, and just seeing him, he's a laid back coach until getting his grill a little bit, but laid back coach, and he loves the players. Everything's about the players first, and then everything comes after that. But there's a players coach, and that's what I love about him. Players coach, laid back, and just does what he does. He's just real great offensive guy. Great. I love what he does with the schemes and everything. So just all that, that's all I need in a head coach or just a coach in general.
What about your relationships with players, some of the players that's recruited in your class, but some of the players on the roster as well? Because it's kind of this trend of Houston being able to keep Houston kids within Houston, everybody wanting to rep the city.
Yeah. I mean, trying to think. I mean, Matt Golden's really kind of recruited. Matt Golden, the receiver. He told me why he didn't go to TC. He told me why he left there, and just like I was talking to him about that, and then just hearing what he had to say about it. Just like Houston, that's his hometown. He don't want to leave his people here. I got the same thing with me. I got people down there. My mom's down there. I got a lot of people gonna come watch me. It's faster. It's closer to home. So just things like that. Just talking to those guys, all the Houston guys, or all the people that are close or in Texas that chose Houston, and why they chose it, just because it's closer to their home, and it's just right there. Family can come see him. It's real easy just for everybody to come down and just see him play where he's at.
You mentioned Matt Golden. Was he kind of the player, or was there any player that kind of was taking your turn when you were on your official visit with Houston, or what did your official visit kind of look like from?
It was kind of it was him. I mean, I remember who was down there. I'm trying to think. I know it was Matt. It was Matt. I was with Donovan, the transfer quarterback. Well, I was with. I mean, most of the guys. I mean, I wasn't just with a specific guy, because I know everybody. Everybody knows me. So kind of just like really, but really the main guys was Matt Golden and I was with Jonah Wilson. So we always just, because he's already lives in Houston, so he was already just showing me the town. I mean, I know Houston at the back of my hand a little bit. So I was really just with Donovan and Matt, the main guys, because I wanted to build that relationship with Donovan because he was just a transfer. So just trying to see how he is, how he acts, just why he came and just stuff like that.
Kind of building off that, obviously, when we kind of touch a little bit about the receiving corps, but you look at this past weekend, so we're recording this on May 1st, so it's a Monday. The NFL draft just passed, and then, of course, when you think of receivers with Houston, Tank Dell just went in the third round. He's going to be staying home with the Texans, but when you see that a receiver get drafted out of UH, how much does that mean to you? The blueprint's kind of there for you that you could kind of follow in Tank's footsteps.
It just means that, the Coach Schwartz knows what he's doing. He knows how to develop guys and get them to the next level. Tank's undersized, but that doesn't matter. It's all about the technique. It's all about if you're a dog or not. And he was a dog, and he didn't care about his size. He came out there and worked hard every day. So I know Coach Schwartz knows what he's talking about, and I can't wait to be coached under him.
Dan, you got any follow-up? I have one follow-up real quick, but did you ever get a chance to meet Tank before? I know he was here during his pro day.
Yeah, me and Tank, yeah, we're good. No, we're good friends. Yeah. We're good little friends. So I met him my junior year. So junior year, then kind of him just talking to him about why his journey. It just came a long way. So he loves the city of Houston. He never wants to leave it. As you see, he got drafted by the Texans, and he's not leaving it now. So now I got technically an NFL. Like I got him, so he's gonna be there. So everything, just hearing stuff from him, just taking me under his wing a little bit, just like Matt coming under his wing and just trying to get better and better.
Just speaking of that legacy of receivers between him, Marquez Stevenson before him, and all the guys before him, Well, to kind of describe the type of receiver that you are, because all them guys I feel like are different, and Coach Holmes
Yeah.
and his staff have been able to develop different style receivers and get them ready for that next level. So, kind of describe your game and the type of receiver that Houston Cougar fans are going to get.
I feel like, I got hands like D-Hop. I got strong hands. I'm real quick. Put me in slot wide, that doesn't matter. I just want the ball in my hands, be a playmaker, and just create havoc. Like I said, just getting the ball in my hands, knowing the defense that they got to deal with me. So that's kind of just bringing that energy, just bringing that kind of Tank Dell, Matt Golden mix, just quick, physical, and just ready to ball out.
Earlier, you mentioned that kind of when you were looking at the University of Houston, you alluded to the business program. Is that what you're going to be studying once you get here, or what?
Yes, sir. I'll be doing entrepreneurship. So trying to be an entrepreneur, own my business one day, trying to run it all, just trying to, just kind of looking at my idols, LeBron James. So seeing what he does outside of basketball, has a lot of businesses he owns. So I'm trying to, get at that level, just trying to start small, then get bigger and bigger from there.
Definitely. And you mentioned a lot of things. Entrepreneurship, one of the best programs in the entire country at the University of Houston. So you're making a great choice. And funny you mentioned LeBron James. So obviously the Lakers and Warriors are about to tip off game one. I believe it's on Tuesday, tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Lakers got that series, or what do you think?
I feel like everybody's like, I don't know. It's just hard because, I'm a Lakers fan. Wherever LeBron go, I go. I really want them to play the Kings because, the Warriors got everything. They I feel like their defense is all right, but their offense is very, very powerful. So you can't let nobody open and let Curry do his thing because that's not what we need. But hopefully we can take it game 7. But if not, then so I just hope Lakers can beat them now.
Gotcha. Definitely. Kind of changing topics a little bit, but when did you first start playing football, or when did you first kind of get that itch?
Man. Cause my first sport is crazy. My first sport was soccer. Baseball, then football. So I think football started when I was 6 or 7. So it's been 11 years now. Just trying to. I don't count when I was little, but just like when I started playing tackle football, I didn't play flag. I skipped flag. Cause I was kind of bigger than everybody. So playing 6 or 7, just playing tackle football with the older guys just kind of got me ready. And now I was growing into my body because I had big feet, big hands. I didn't go into my body yet until like middle school. Middle school, I peaked. I saw 6th, 7th grade year. And ever since then, just kind of, sky's the limit from there. So,
and at one point, did you feel like you had what it takes to play at the next level?
I know kind of. So middle school, I mean, it has a big head in middle school, but I kind of count that. But my sophomore year in high school, when I flipped over to offense, cause I know freshman year I was like, okay, this is defense. I'm a big D. I'm gonna be 6 foot DB. Who doesn't want it? 6 foot safety. Everybody wants that. And then I kind of was like, I want to score touchdowns. I want the ball in my hands. I want to be a game changer. So flipping the offense that year is just like, ever since then, I feel like I was like, yeah, this is what I got. What I need. And when I got my first offer from Baylor, it was just like, and I guess I was right. Being electric on the field, being a slot, just being, just giving defense a hard time. And I was like, it's how it really feels. Being this what I want to say, just being this. I'm trying to think. Just being like Division I, just like seeing how it really feels to like know that you are Division I type, and just like it's just I don't know, it's just a crazy feeling just because like everybody dreams of this, and some kids don't get it and some kids do, but it's just like I feel like it was God's gift, and just like real athletic and very, very talented, and I got gifted this opportunity. So
Soccer and baseball, what positions did you play at each of those sports?
Soccer, I don't know. I was just running around the field, kicking the ball. Then baseball, my main sport, I started first base in center field. So, but as I got to high school, playing select and all that, so I was playing mainly center field. Cause track down balls and it's just kind of easy to me. Cause I have a great IQ, but just tracking down ball, just like I was tracking down the football, it's kind of same thing. Just seeing it by the eye and just getting it by the hand. But it's just, I started first base and then moved to center field. And I was gonna pitch, but I didn't get the chance to. But it is what it is, though.
How fast do you think you can throw baseball?
I feel like I could throw definitely mid-80s to mid-80s, high 80s. I feel like I could get there.
You never clocked it?
I was doing practice when I used to do bullpens. Everybody said I was throwing hard, so I was like, I feel like I was throwing real hard. I'm real strong. I feel like because the ball is like, to my hands, I got, I think 10-inch like hands going this way. So just grabbing the baseball is nothing. I feel like it's real powerful with it. So I feel like mid-80s, high 80s around that.
Dan, you got something before I follow up?
If you follow on the same topic, go ahead. If not,
Nah, it's different. Different.
okay. Well, you mentioned a couple of different receivers that you kind of consider in your game. Any pro receivers that you see you have the same attributes as them and can make kind of compare yourself skill set wise to them type of players?
Devontae Adams and D Hop. Those are my top two guys. Because D Hop, I kind of see it just hands him going up, grabbing balls, just like strong hands, never really gets it punched out. And then Devontae Adams out the line, I kind of like trying to mirror his releases that he does, and just him with his catch out, his the run out the catch is just one of the best things I've ever seen out of him. He's about 6'2", just real physical, just like D Hop. I feel like they're the same player, but D Hop has a little more bounce, but I think Devontae Adams is a little more smooth and quicker. But I kind of like mirror my games after them two right there.
Okay.
Kind of building off of that, but is there a particular NFL team that you're kind of root for? Are you much more a fan of the sport?
I'm a fan. I was Cam Newton, so I was kind of going for the Panthers, and then Cam Newton's but hopefully he gets back in another team. I can follow up with that team. But I mean, I was a Cam Newton fan, so. But I was
he's
really,
still a legend.
what is that?
I said he's still a legend. They still robbing him of the job.
I mean, my first
getting jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, he still Cam would be Cam. And then my first ever was Michael Vick. That's why I kind of wear him. My dad's the reason I wear 7. So I mean, my mom's an Eagles fan. So I like the Eagles a little bit, but I'm not like a true Eagles fan. But Michael Vick, real true legend right there. So.
Gotcha. What type of music you listen to?
Man, I listen to it all. Lil Boosie. I love some throwbacks. I love a lot of throwbacks and a lot of generation the rap music now. And there's like a few country songs, but I'm not really a country guy. But it's like one or two that I listen to.
Now I gotta follow up.
Yeah, so I kind of got a little mix of everything I kind of listen to.
Okay, so what's your go-to country song right now, and what's just your top artist in general?
I think I'm trying to think. Either Morgan Wallen or Jason Aldean. One of those two. Just any song from there. Really just one of those two songs. Not two songs, but two artists. Those guys right there, just really anything. I just like how they just real smooth and just. I really don't like it, but just kind of getting older. As I got older, I kind of started listening to it a little bit. So I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. So.
Gotcha.
Speaking of numbers, you just referenced numbers and the number 7. I think Coach Hogerson referenced like transition to people earning those like single digit numbers. What do you feel about that competitive edge in regards to earning your number? And do you look forward to earning the number that you want?
I mean, real competitive. I mean, a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams tell you got to earn your single digit numbers because those are the top guys. Those are the captains of the team. So, I just want to go in there day one trying to, compete for a spot, first compete for a starting spot, and then the numbers come after that to compete for the numbers that I want. If I get double digit, I mean, numbers don't really matter at this point. It doesn't matter as long as you go out there and ball, because people go out here and ball in any number. It doesn't matter what number it is. If you're that dog, you're going to dog in any number it is. So, but I mean, I'd love to have a single digit number my first year, but if I don't, I get it. It's fine. I'm gonna go work harder the next year to get that single digit number that I want.
Kind of going back to your dad and really kind of having that figure that's kind of been here before. What's kind of the biggest advice, or maybe it's multiple, it's probably more than one, it's hard to pinpoint one, but what's something that sticks with you throughout this whole process, that kind of advice that he's given you?
Who's real, who's not real? I think that's like the realest thing he ever did. Like I can tell like real friends. Like I had to back in my freshman year or sophomore year when I started getting recruited, I had to cut some friends off because they didn't have the same goals I wanted to have. So I had to surround myself around people who want to be successful like me. And I have the two guys, one of my two best friends. One's going to New Mexico State. One's already enrolled at A&M. So just surrounding people around like that. And coaches, I can tell a coach when he's not being real or not. In Houston, they've been real ever since day one. So, and that's what really made me want to go to Houston, because they've been real. They've been real straight up with me, and that's what I love about it. So.
How much did your dad talk to you about the college grind in regards to training collegiately and playing collegiately, and what all goes into that? Yeah,
because I mean, high school, you're grinding, but it's not the competitive as college. And he said you can have your fun sometimes, but you can throw it out the way because it's being a student first, being an athlete. Just grinding there. Then that off time comes later. But it's real different though. It's real faster, fast paced, real tempo, and real. Everybody's good as you. Nobody sucks. Walk-ons don't suck. You can't take nobody lightly out here because you never know. So.
I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I want to go back to what you mentioned about entrepreneurship and one day ultimately being able to own multiple businesses. If you could start a business today, what would it be?
I think something around sports, so like sports medicine, or like sports, like I don't know, like sports, anything with like treatment type wise, sport, like somewhere in that category, sports medicine, or just being a trainer. You'd be a trainer that because I play the sport, I could just pass the knowledge I know of being a receiver or being anything really. So just stuff somewhere around the sports area, and then at some point be something else different, like outside of sports. But I know my first kind of topic would be like somewhere around sports something.
Gotcha. Dan, you got anything?
Yeah, coming out of high school, was high school was it easy for you, or at what point was it? I'm sure some games were probably harder than others. You had better competition, but just like overall. At what point did you realize, okay, I'm better than everyone I'm playing against? And how do you foresee that your transition being to playing in the next level? You feel like, or how quick do you feel like you'll be able to translate and impact in college?
Cause so with us, at Temple, we play our first 4 games. We try to play kids that have, teams that have Division I kids already. So we can feel how it feels to play against people that are good. Because high school, there's teams that they got it or you don't got it. So just there's games that it's easy and there's games that you gotta work for it. So just kind of just having that going against kids that I went against Javian Taviano. He's at LSU right now. Going against him, that's the best competition I ever had because he's a 6'1" DB. He's real physical. Just seeing that and going, he's SEC now, SEC corner. That's what I thought. Just going against kids that are already at that level as me, just kind of feels like all right, it's gonna see what it feels like college. The same thing. But just kind of working as hard as they want, trying to outwork him, the person in front of me. Doesn't matter good or not, you want to outwork that person. Because like I said, you never know. There be teams that aren't supposed to win that be winning out here. So just take care. You can't take nobody lightly. That's my kind of my mindset. I want to outwork everybody and beat that person in front of me. Just saying they can't guard me. They can't do this for me. Just kind of saying that, repeating that in my head, kind of is gonna get me where I want to be.
Gotcha. As we kind of start to wrap things down, I have 2 more questions, and Dan, you can sandwich a few in between. It's just a funny, out of left field question. What's your go-to meal? What's your favorite thing to eat?
Go-to meal, chicken spaghetti. My dad can cook some chicken spaghetti. So crazy thing. Nobody knows this, but my dad can cook. He can cook. He can whip up anything. He go to Pinterest. Give him whatever you need. He'll make it. So he can throw down some chicken spaghetti. It's the best. It's the best ever. I think the chicken spaghetti is my go-to, and then I think a snack go-to would be I do some pizza, just regular pepperoni pizza or a pizza with some Italian sausage on it. But those are my 2 go-tos. Really, chicken spaghetti is my number 1. If it's chicken spaghetti, I eat that for the rest of my life if I had to. It's the best ever. It's just the best ever.
Do you have any college career goals that you're already looking forward to, whether coming into your freshman year, maybe you want to reach a certain amount of catches, a certain amount of yards, a certain amount of touchdowns, to kind of proceed you're kind of looking for the next couple of years? Yeah,
Matt Golden set the freshman record for touchdowns. I think it was 6 or 7. So, no, I'm trying to beat the freshman catch. I'm trying to beat my freshman year, trying to beat all the freshman records. And then my sophomore year, as I get older, beat the Tank Dell's records. Tank Dell, the most, trying to beat his records because, he's been balling forever. And shoot, if he was receivers like Quinn Johnson, 6'4", 6'3", if he was their size, I feel like he'd be talked about way more just because he's 5'9", 5'8". But he has the stats to prove it. The film shows how good he is, and just beating his records and just kind of go out there and just like I said, beating the freshman records and then trying to beat the all-time records. That's how I want to see that.
Gotcha. The Matt Golden, you're right. He set the record 7 receptions.
6, yeah. So I was like 7. Okay, I can. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And he missed. It's crazy because he missed 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
So I was like, if he did that, I was like, okay, I got you. So.
Dan, you got anything else before we wrap things up?
No. That's it, man. I appreciate you for giving us some of your time, man. Definitely welcome to the Houston Crew family.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
Can't wait to see you play for sure.
Oh yeah, so I appreciate y'all for this, man. So
Yes, sir. I got two more questions, and one, this is just because you mentioned pizza. So now I'm curious. For you, does pineapple belong in a pizza?
no.
Gotcha. There we go. There's only one.
Wait, no, have y'all had Mod's Pizza before? Mod's Pizza?
Uh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I haven't, but I need to try it because I've literally they're all over the place, and I've never had it.
Okay, I do barbecue. I like barbecue chicken pizza. I do barbecue. So I do barbecue. I put chicken, bacon, all the sausages on there. I just like kind of like put all the meat house stuff on there, and I think it's the best ever. And I do the little barbecue swirl out the end. It's the best. That's the best ever. My dad put me on it because I was like barbecue pizza. You know, I didn't think it was that good until we went there and got it. I was like, oh yeah, this barbecue chicken pizza is the best pizza in my mind. So you gotta try it.
Gotcha. My pizza. I definitely got to go
My
try because
pizza
they're
is
all over the
top
place.
notch.
They're
It's
all
top
over the
notch.
place. I need to.
My pizza's top notch.
Gotcha. And then the last question from me, just in terms of the next few weeks, what's kind of your timeline when you officially join the program, and then once you're officially part of the team?
So right now I've been training, but right now I graduate May 27th. So I got all my stuff, my wishes. I have my graduation party. So kind of after getting all the gifts and everything, I will probably start heading that way. But I know June 1st I got orientation, right, for freshman orientation. So I think I'm gonna be moving down exactly on the 1st or a little probably the day before, so I can get settled in and all that. Cause I'm doing summer school, so that Monday after I think it's like June 4th, June 5th. That Monday I'll be starting summer school, so I can graduate in 3 years. I'll try to
Gotcha. Exciting times. Mikal Harrison-Pilot, once again, thank you for your time and being able to join the
Yes, sir.
show. I'll leave it off with this. If you have one message for UH fans, whether it be describing yourself as a player, as a person, anything you'd like UH fans to know, what would that be?
I'm gonna give y'all all I got. I'm gonna give y'all everything. Everything that I worked for. Just trying to become a better man. Help the team go back to where it was back in the day. So that's the plan right there. Just try to go back to where we came from, and at some point win the Big 12 out. So that's the goal right there.
Hey, we love to hear it. Once again, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and best of luck as now you're just a few weeks away from officially becoming a
Yes,
Houston
sir.
Cougar.